So for task 2, we are going to add a table to test DB. So we're expanding that, and we're going to right click on tables, and we're going to select new and table. And I'm going to key in the column name and press tab. I'm going to type an INT for integer, and I'm going to use my space bar to get rid of the check under allow nulls. And I'm going to key in first name. And this is variable characters, so I'm going to start keying that in. And instead of 50, I want 30, so I'm just going to edit that. And I'm going to remove the check for allow nulls. Whoop. And I'm going to press tab. I'm going to do last name. This is also variable character 30. And we don't want nulls. And then I'm going to go ahead and pause this video and complete entering this. So I've got all of the columns and data types entered. I've also specified whether they're null or not. So my next task is to set a primary key. And that is going to be our number column. So this little selector area to the left, I'm going to right click on it and set the primary key. We also need a constraint on job code. The code should be between 1 and 10. So I'm going to right click on job code, and I'm going to add a check constraint. So we need to add a new constraint. And for the name, this is a horrible name for a constraint. So we're going to change table 1 to job code. All of these settings should be yes. And the expression, so what they need to check. And you do need to make sure that you enter the column correctly. So the column is job code. We want to see if that is greater than or equal to 1. And job code should be less than or equal to 10. Okay, so that is our constraints. And so at this point, we are going to click on the Save button up on our toolbar, and then we can close. Let's do that again. Save button, and we're going to name this thing employee. Okay, so now we have an employee table, and let's just make sure our constraint got in there. Now we're going to do another table, and this is going to be for departments. So I'm going to right click on table, new and table. And so we've got department number, small integer, and that cannot be null. Name is variable character 50, that can be null. And remember, null is nothing. So we have location code, integer, and that can be null. And then we've got manager number, also integer, and that can be null. So basically, null values would mean you're not entering anything. So in this little table, the only thing that's going to be required is department number. And that is going to be the primary key. And we're going to hit save. And we are going to call this thing departments. And I'm going to close out of that. And if you do not have the employee table open, you are going to want to open it. So you can just right click and go into design, and that'll take you exactly where I am right now. And what we need to do is relate our employee table to the department table. So the column we are going to use to connect those two tables is department number. So we're going to right click on department number and we're going to choose relationships. And we need to add a new relationship between our tables. And for a name, this is not the greatest name. What we want to call it is foreign key, department number. And then we're going to click here on tables and columns. And then you'll notice on the right-hand side, we have an ellipsis. We have 3 periods. So we're going to click on that. And this is where we're going to specify which columns are the key, foreign key and primary key. So our primary key is coming from departments, and we click right below that. It's department number. The foreign key is in the employee table, okay? And it is department number. So what this means is we cannot put a department number in for an employee unless the department number exists in the department table. Okay, so once a department number is in our department table, we can assign it to an employee. Okay, so even though these look the same, they're named the same, foreign keys and primary keys don't have to have the same name. They have to have the same data. Okay? That's where the relationship comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now I have a relationship between those two tables. So I'm going to go ahead and close and save. And I'm going to say yes. And let's see, so I should be able to refresh this. And I should see both of my tables. And if I look on employee under keys, I should see the foreign key for the department number, because I just created that.